You got to get that mental health. You know, God is
Good morning.
Okay. Good morning. I don't know why my mic was still muted.
I don't know either. What's that going on today? All right, you guys. This is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning, Kristi. Michelle is in the building on Tuesday. Going down on Tuesday.
Morning, people.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning.
Taco Tuesday.
Oh.
Although I'm not eating any tacos today. Well,
no tacos today for Tuesday.
I might eat a taco for lunch.
Well, you know, right.
Don't know. I got a text this morning. It was like, what you doing for lunch today? I'm like, I don't know. Working? Probably working.
Text messages for the meal time. Listen, I think that's amazing.
Might be a business. It's a business meeting, I'm sure.
Right. Definitely. That's what they call them. Oh no, it is. It is a business meeting. Okay, I'm just fishing.
I tell you, if it wasn't a business meeting.
I'm just trying to see.
Say legit.
The people trying to get in these streets and say, let's go out for a little taco.
It's a legit business.
Legit business. Okay. Hey, I'm not tripping with none of it. I ain't tripping on none of that.
Okay, yeah, this shirt is the right way.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Yeah. That's a good deal. That's so Kristi.
Yo.
I went yesterday to a little informational service meeting with some people. And you know what's so funny is that you just never know who really be watching you. Like, you never know people. You never know who is watching. You never know who is interested in anything that you're doing. And it is like, it's important that you really do pay attention to how you are connecting with people. So we were just talking about what we do here in the morning and everything. And I was just thinking that I was informing them about how we are in our morning gathering and the show and what we do. And I was just telling them, you know, some of the things that we discuss. And they were like, oh, no, I'm very aware of what y'all discussing. And I love it. And I was like, well, how you know what we discuss? And they was like, because I watch the show every morning. And I was like, really? Nah. And they was like, yeah, I am a faithful watcher. So big shouts out to my friends who are watching us. And we were talking in regards to the conversation on yesterday about the truth and the beautiful truth. I mean, the beautiful lies and the truth. Cup cam, yeah, cup cammers, ma'am. Yes,
You know
one
you
of the
got to cover
faves.
Eminem.
Yes, one of the
Oh
faves.
well, as my finger covered it,
One of
let's
the
do it
faves.
better that way.
Yes. And so I was listening to the conversation as these two gentlemen were talking, and they were just saying how beautiful conversation about the lies and how lies can be told in a much more beautiful fashion. And so we were talking as far as how the men, I say, well, you guys are men. Y'all been men for a while. They always tell me, Nikki, you tell me y'all. Yeah, y'all are. Y'all been men for a while. So they'll say, well, Nikki, what is it that you were trying to accomplish when you were saying that we as men are not, always giving that real conversation as far as the truth. I said, well, sometimes y'all be fashionably liars. You be fashionably liars, Y'all just be you just be lying and everything. So I don't know what to expect from you. And so one guy said, and this was really good information here, Kristi. He said that, but y'all as ladies, y'all too have some conversations that has some questionable actions to it too.
Really?
And I was like, what do you mean we have some questionable actions to some things that we do? And did you ever think about that when we are telling guys that we are giving them our spiel about how good we are as ladies, and you know how we like to tell them all of our fashionable great things that we do and who we are and how we really do maneuver through life and we're taking care of business, but then we forget that there's also some things in us that we're supposed to share, right? So one of the guys said that, well, when you are telling a guy about how you know how to do this, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing all these great things, but then you make a decision and a choice to say, but we're gonna wait on sex, we're gonna wait on this, and then you put all these weights on there. Man, go on, tell the dude the truth, and that is, if you want to be knocked down day one and it don't take 16 weeks. And I was like, oh my God, that was something that they was passionate about, saying that we as ladies are misleading, Kristi, in our cuteness and in our cuteness and in all of the way all of the way we present ourselves. We present ourselves in a fashionable lie, basically saying we are all these great women, wholesomeness and all this stuff. But then one of them say, just tell the people you're a freak in the sheets. And come on, let's just get freaky in the sheets. I was like, how did y'all even come to this conclusion? And how did you even come up with these storylines? How long you been sitting there with that problem, bro? But they say we as ladies, we give beautiful lies too. So that's why I said beautiful lies versus truth hurt. And I said, well, why does it come to this place where we are hurting you with our truth? Nah, man, you done misled me. You done told me that we gonna be together in this way, and then we gonna do this and do that. Because you do know that when you on the phone with a man and you having that conversation with him, and he having himself a hard time, and hard time in his hard time, and then you sit up there and tell him, "Oh no, I can't come out right now. Oh no, it's my girl time. Oh no, I can't do this." Man, you done set him up for all fails. I was like, okay, so you are suffering in this section of your life. So I thought it was a little therapeutic. But you know what, Kristi? I got to thinking and saying, okay, have I misled a gentleman by telling him at one point, I feel like this is my issue, or I feel like this is my problem? What have I said in this really truth of what he was saying? Now I will tell a guy, I'm not going to be playing around with you. I'm real straightforward with that. I'm not going to be playing around with you, jumping all up and down and getting my cardio activities up with your tail, and we ain't finna go further than the ceiling tops of nowhere. We ain't finna leave outside this four wall, and actually you not gonna ever be in public standings with me. So we're not doing that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, but you know, I don't think I tell them nothing else, like, you know, nothing beyond that part of it. So what's your
I,
thought
I,
process? Because they had a lot to say yesterday. I was like, I've been watching.
I mean, that's fair. Women do have beautiful lives.
Right.
Everybody will have a beautiful life.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can have a beautiful life. Um, I honestly would like to hear more of the conversation from men. I like to hear men's viewpoint of things. I do like the dialogue.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we as women, I'm gonna say for me, sometimes you kind of think a man don't be knowing. Sometimes
Yeah.
you think that because they don't. In my opinion, men don't speak on things so much. They don't speak on things quite often. They kind of just sit back and they kind of peep the situation out, right? So versus some women, we may see something and speak on it right away. So
True.
I don't know. Men sometimes they could see, they could peep game. Sometimes they may speak on it. A lot of times they just kind of way back in the cut and just kind of see how this is gonna play out.
Right.
Um, but I would like to hear from men the beautiful lies that they think we tell. Because don't get me wrong, we tell them, and
Yeah.
they are right. We need to just be honest and state our intentions. We want men to state their intentions.
Yeah.
And let's just be honest, every woman is not looking for a long term. Every woman is not looking for a boyfriend. There are some wonderful women players out there, honey, they just playing the game. And that's all they want. They
Yeah.
may just want somebody to pay their bills. They may just be looking for a zaddy, or they may just be looking for somebody just to have some physical fun with.
Right. Right.
I'm all for stating your intentions up front.
Right.
It's
And
just
that's
should not
exactly
be
what.
shaming your game
Yeah,
at
that's
all.
exactly what the guys were saying. And so, I know one of the things that they say that we'll say is that they say that the good church girl playing a role. Why y'all always got to go with the church girl role? What's up with the church girl role? And I was like,
Because
what
we
do
because
you
we
mean
because
church girl role?
we've been taught that's what a man wants. We've been taught that
Like,
a
what
man,
do you mean by a
yeah.
church girl role? What?
We
I'm
I
confused.
totally understand what they saying.
I'm like, what do you
I'm
mean?
trying to get to this.
Greetings and
Get
salutations to you too,
to
Miss
this
Angela. Good
FDR
morning.
thing. Hi, Miss Tangela.
Yeah. He was like, what? I was like, what do you mean, good girl? You know, the church girl, like you so good and wholesome. You're more whole than some. I was like, wait. So
Facts.
it's and I was like, I don't know what you mean by. Come on, man. You know, you be acting like you're just so good and churchy, and you know, God is everything. God is with us, and you just really. Good morning, Dr. English.
Good
You just
morning.
really good and churchy, like nothing else, nothing else be about it. You just churchy. And I was like, I want to understand. So I don't qualify for a lot of these things that they stated on yesterday. And I was like, what do you mean I don't qualify, Nikki? You don't be acting like no church girl. I said, what you mean? I am a church girl. I'm like, no, man, you ain't that kind of church girl. So what was stated as far as the church girl role, you super into the church, you go to all your church meetings, you're always in your church gatherings, but you'll go out every now and then with the guy on a date. We're gonna go on a date in the early daytime, but then you're gonna try to get a little spicy, but then you're gonna draw yourself back from them, and then you're gonna give a little spice a little more. I say, oh, so you talking about a teaser? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you're gonna be, oh no, that's not in my moral principles and everything that I am with God. And I was like, oh, okay. So they just a hidden freak.
It's a lot of them like that out there.
And I don't know why. I don't understand why. But it's good what you said as far as we too need to find out what the beautiful lies is that we tell. Then I know that I said, okay, well, what about when a woman says that no, we just need to wait a little bit. Let's just kind of wait. Let's just kind of get to know each other. Let's get to build a relationship. Let's get more into a place to where we are finding out about one another more before we're able to move forward in that place. Man, why did I say that, Kristi?
I
It was
totally.
like, what's the difference in waiting
Yep.
that day one all the way waiting to 6 months later? Who is
I
the wait for?
I could tell you the difference. And here's the deal. This is an unpopular opinion. The people are getting ready to clutch their pearls. Um, and I love the Lord, and He loved me. I I am no longer of the at my age of the need to play the weight game.
Right.
Miss me with all. I get the context. I
Mm-hmm.
get the context. Um, I'm just gonna be honest for me. For this is for Kristi. For Kristi Michelle Bellard Law. I'm
And
45 and
I'm sure
7 months.
there's somebody else that's going to agree. Come on.
I'm 45 and 7 months. Um, and sexual relationship is very important to me. Sexual compatibility is very important to me. I'm 46. I'm 45 and 7 months. I keep stating my age because that's an important part of a relationship to me. Um, Top three reasons for divorce: sex, money, children. That's important to me. I don't give a damn how much we vibe, how much we kick it, how much we get along, we blah blah blah. If we can't get in that bed and shake some sheets, it has all been for nothing to me. Basically, I have a beautiful friend who I'm not sexually satisfied with. Well, Kristi, if you connect on a brain level, you're gonna connect physically. Not all the time true. Not in my experience.
Yeah.
I have had wonderful male friends, wonderful male friends, great colleagues, this and that. And that's where it should have stayed. Because we just were not, it did not pan out. And I know I can hear somebody saying, well, that's because you weren't designed to have sex first. You weren't designed to have premarital sex. You right, it's a sin. It's a sin. But this is what I do know. This is what I do know. And it is not backed up by any biblical Bible, to my knowledge.
Okay.
Is that what I'm not going to do if I decide to pick up some old hardware on my left hand ring finger? If I ever decide to get some old hardware put on that finger,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna know before that hardware come on that finger is that I'm gonna make sure that we sexually compatible in that bed. I'm gonna make sure. I would like to know. We're gonna have so many deep conversations. How do you like it, sir? How
Right.
many times a week do you like it? When you stressed out, do you shy away from it? Hey, this is how I like it. This is how many times a week. We need to have that conversation. We talk about finances. We talk about how we raise kids. You need to know how to satisfy me in that area. I want to know how to satisfy you in that area. Do you like the blonde haired girl every Wednesday in her Pizza Hut uniform?
Oh
Man,
wow.
let me go get it. You say you like the cheerleader? What's your favorite team? Let me go get it. Um, so I need to know that. I don't want no shock. I don't want no shock after we tie the knot and then we trying to figure out how to move and groove in the bed. No, no, I'm not doing that at 46. At 40, I keep saying 46. I'm about to be at 45 years old in 7 months. And the
Yeah.
reason why I keep saying 7 months because I joined the gym yesterday. You know they give you exact age, and I was like, dang it, I'm really almost to 46. But that's and that's just that on that. So while I understand the purpose of the weight, and I think you need to know a man's headspace. Some men are of the belief because they grew up believing if a woman give it up on the first day, she a hoe, you can't trust her. You
Yeah.
know, you get all of these wonderful adjectives. And then you meet other men that are grown in their life that I've come across, I know since I've been divorced, and probably
Mm-hmm.
before then, is that some of these men will say, I don't care if you sleep with me on day one or day 90.
Right.
Day one or day 90. Men know who they probably would like to settle down with or have a future with or maybe have that conversation with. And some of them look at it as though you a grown ass woman. You know what you want. You went after what it, I'm not intimidated. But on the same spectrum, you'll run across men to be like, I don't want her. I don't want the girl like that. So it's just all in that the way that person thinks. And chances are, the man that thinks that you gotta wait all them 90 days and they want to label you, chances are they ain't doing a whole lot of stuff in their bedroom.
Pretty
Chances
much.
are they have boundaries in the bedroom of things that they're not gonna do with their wife, or I can't do that with the mother of my children. Oh, okay. Somebody else will though. Okay, Miss Tangela, I see Miss Tangela got
Yeah, she did. She said, I agree with you, Kristi. I'm 50 in 8 months. That is
it.
not always true. This guy was a beautifully wrapped box. That's it. That's all. I'm gonna leave it right there.
Miss Tangela, high five. High five
Ah!
to you. And listen, I'm just
Ah!
speaking some of my truth. Um, I'm just speaking. Am I saying that you should go and explore before you get married? I'm not saying that. I'm not sitting on here encouraging youth and this and that to go run out and have sex. But I do believe
You gotta live
that
in your truth though.
when God designed you to walk into marriage as virgins, I believe He designed for both parties to walk in as virgins, because you just automatically compare that person to your previous experience, or you have an expectation of what sex is, or better yet, that person turned on your sexual light switch, um, and maybe you are marrying somebody who has not had any sexual experience, and then you're already coming into the game not equal players. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not coming into the game with a clean slate. You got somebody with a little bit more experience and somebody with not so much more experience. So,
Because that's what I was getting ready to say, Kristi. So when you said that about having somebody come in as a virgin and someone who's not, which that is a
because
rarely
women are taught to save yourself. We're taught all day,
right,
save yourself, save yourself.
right,
Very rarely do you hear men are taught to save themselves, which I
right.
don't know. I don't understand that message. I never did, because I'm like, well, who the boy supposed to have sex with?
Nobody.
If the women are told not and the boys are told go and get as much as you can.
Well, they supposed to go get it with the girl that was the little,
I just
the promiscuous girl, the girl that was so fast and the fast tail, which I'm trying to understand who is identifying the fast tail girl. Is it because she is wearing the little short hot pants and she was always in the boys' faces? Is that what the identifier is? Because right now today, that's how they identify a lot of girls that be popping their tails and showing off and dancing and wearing a little short shorts and their clothes out. And contrary to popular belief, them girls don't even be doing it like that.
no.
They don't even be getting down like that. It be the girl that be fully clothed with her clothes up to here. And just as the boys said, this coming from the boys. They
Yeah,
like
that's the church freak. They say all the
girls
time
who be
that
covered up
catch.
and
Yeah,
corporate America chicks, man, they be the ones that give it all. I was
absolutely.
like, what? They was like, man, the girl who be in the club, they call it pee popping. The pee poppers and man, showstoppers, them girls don't be wanting to do nothing. They be like, that was just there at the club, at the space. You buy me a drink, you buy me something to eat, I'm done. Now the ones that are fully dressed, said them be the ones that just be doing
Listen,
it.
it's like a man. It's like a dude. In my experience, all of this is just straight my experience, people.
Mm,
The dude that's the quiet one in the corner at the club that ain't
yes,
making a whole bunch of rah 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 and sing.
yes,
Oh, that's the dude you need to watch out for in the bed. That's the one that's gonna turn your
yes,
life around in that bedroom.
yes.
Same for that woman, the one that's just kind of chilling, peeping the scene, ain't gotta, don't
Yeah,
have to brag and flash. And there's nothing wrong with a brag and a flash. But it's typically the one that's, I like to say, that ain't talking a whole bunch of stuff. It ain't the girl that's saying, "Oh, I can do this and this in the bed." That they got a good mouth game, and you get them in the
yeah,
bed. You're like, girl, please. It's in my experience been the same way with fellas that just
yeah.
they just bragging on themselves, and then you just like, who in the hell does that lie to you? Or maybe that's just what your game is. But yeah, it used to be based off appearance and ooh this and that, and it's just what we was taught at home. The one with the short, don't wear that short skirt, don't wear
Mm.
this and that. I never forget. I put an anklet on one day because they were in style back then,
Ah,
and they are back in style. And baby, when I tell you, my daddy, Oh my God. He had a fit because hoes wore
Hoes
anklets.
wore anklets.
And I was like, okay, I just think it's cute. Everybody gonna think you a hoe. They gonna think I'm a hoe because I put on an anklet.
Got an anklet on.
And I was like, who started that beautiful lie? Somebody daddy somewhere said the girl I screwed had on an
And an
anklet.
anklet.
Or somebody mama, somebody wife was pissed off because you caught your man in bed with the girl with the anklet and all hoes got that's how shit gets started. And so I didn't wear anklet forever. Yeah, Dr.
Yes.
English. I didn't
Yes.
wear anklet forever
No way.
because hoes wore anklets. And I think anklets are the most beautiful thing. As a matter of fact, that's on my Mother's Day list that I want somebody's children to buy, maybe mine. I want an anklet because I think that they're beautiful.
Anklet. Yes,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
say
it was
they say
anklet.
that. And then they told you in church don't wear red lipstick because hoes wore red lipstick.
Baby, look, my mama loved her red lipstick, honey. She loved her red lipstick, and she was buried with her red lipstick, honey. If we ain't do nothing else, everybody was like, we made sure mama had a red lipstick on when they came pay their final respect, because that was her color. But yeah, like my cousin, bless, she's normally on the show. She has two daughters, and one of them just turned 9. And she texted me and she was like, I'm not ready. She wants to get red nail polish when the nail salon. I said, well, let her get red nail polish. That's too grown. I said, oh God, let the baby get red nail polish. She said, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm gonna let her get blue. Okay, that's fine. But like I get it, and it's hard to let go of those things that we've been taught. I
Yeah,
mean,
Doc,
like,
don't wear no anklets. You're gonna be
don't wear no anklets.
put your anklet on, Doc. Put your anklet on.
Girl, look, I'm going to get me an anklet, baby. Same with girls with tattoos. Don't you get on? That's them fast ass girl with tattoo, baby. I'm listen.
Now, I give my kids a hard time about tattoos. I love
I'm
them with
tatted up.
tattoos.
I'm tatted. I am tatted. You would never
The thing
know.
for me is that I went to the tattoo place several times and I never came out with mine.
My thing is that
my children,
it's
baby, my boy and my girl, they are tatted up, baby.
One right here. Now these are the ones that you can. And my tattoos are because I'm still in corporate America.
Yes.
And so my tattoos, if I want to cover them, I can. And the other places my tattoos are, if I want you to see them, you will. If not, then they covered.
But I want a tattoo on my leg.
Mm-hmm.
I want a tattoo on my leg. I want a rose and some on my thigh. I want some roses and what's kind on my thigh. But I'm like, I can't do all that. That's too much. That's gonna
see that might be your conviction.
Me. Yeah, I was like, that's gonna hurt my body. Then if my children see that, they're like, Mom, you gave me such a hard time about my tattoos, and did.
Now, I didn't get mine until I was in my 20s. I made sure I had a mortgage, I had a whole husband, had some children, and I was still scared to show my mama. And I never forget when she said, you have a tattoo? This first thing I said, I'm grown, I got a mortgage. She said, oh, okay.
Oh, wait a minute, that's good, Doc. Doc say we create stigmas and we tell people to be you.
That's just what we do.
Right,
and
Doc.
And this is the better thing.
Just be you.
We love to throw the Bible in it. We love to say, well, it's a sin until we got this age where they say, okay, let me Google that. Let me search it up, like the kids say. And then you can't find it in context where it says Bible, because it does talk about don't make any markings in your skin in honor of the dead. It has a whole lot of things about that.
Yeah.
And so, but when you really read that scripture in the back passage, I do believe they were talking about a man that was just kind of going crazy, blah blah blah. So I would like to think that he was having a mental illness type. People cut themselves. So for all we know, when we're talking about cutters, we're talking about tattoo. So we like to take stuff and we like to make it that against the God don't want you to do that.
It's really about obsession with your past loved one. And when you have made your mind go so crazy the way you do, you become injured. You try to injure yourself, try to kill yourself, so you get the people that you are mentally mindset for. Yeah.
So I feel like
That's
that was all about mental health.
That's what
It
they
wasn't
really
about.
mean, Kristi. But you know,
I mean, yeah,
if you let a good old 100 stand up there behind that sacred desk, they gonna tell you you're wrong. And I think
I
that's
know,
because
but
they
thank God
wanted
I know
to
how
get
to
to it,
read.
they couldn't get one.
But thank God I know how to read and interpret
Right,
for myself. And
right,
thank God I have a brother who
right,
he did go to theology school,
right. And he can help you out with the
but he
content.
also knows how to read the Bible in Greek and Hebrew. Yes, I'm
Right.
gonna brag on my brother because that's
Yeah.
where they translated, and a lot of things they couldn't translate in English because we didn't have the
Right.
words. They just made up the word. I mean, just go ahead and free somebody
Right.
today. So
Right. So
that's
he
that
is
part.
part of it too.
But
Yeah.
here's the deal: your conviction is your conviction. I want to say that too. If that's your conviction with tattoos, then that's your conviction. I just like to tell people, then just say, hey, I'm convicted to not get one, and then that's fine.
And that's
Um,
really what it is, Kristi, is
yeah,
that the conviction of not having, you know,
mhm.
that's my thing. It's like, okay, don't worry about it. Don't do it.
Yeah,
However,
that's your,
I give my kids a hard time about it, but
yeah.
they already know they like, she supported anyway. She ain't gonna be bothered with
Yeah, yeah. My mama was not happy with my tattoos until the end. When she was, getting close to the end of her life, it was a lot of things that I don't know if she realized life was too short to have all these rules on yourself that
right,
didn't mean a hill of beans at the end anyway.
right, right.
Because the last tattoo I got, me and my boys, we did it when my oldest came home for Christmas, and we all just got matching mom son tattoos, in the same place pretty much, and that's what we did for Christmas. We got our tattoos, and so my mama was like, oh, I wish I would have been with y'all. Whereas before, she never would have kind of joked like that. But now,
Yeah.
before she passed, she was like, "That's what's up." So I mean, but it's just what your convictions are. There are
Yeah.
some things that
Because
I'm
some of your
convicted about.
convictions weigh you down.
Yeah,
And they weigh you down because you don't know why it's actually a conviction. It goes back again to the beautiful lies. You
it's
know,
what you was taught.
it's a taught traditional storyline, and
Hmm.
some things we do have to think about it. I like what Doc said when she said the stigma, but yet you tell yourself, be telling people, be you. Okay, how can I be me when you done already impressed me so to where I don't
Hmm.
even know what me is? But here it is. Here, let me help y'all with them rebel kids. Them rebel children are not rebel children. They are really seriously being the you, and they're outside of the stigmatism that you have tried to impart into them. They listened for a while, but they already had in their mind. They never got convicted in their mindset to say, "Oh, I'm gonna be under this sound foolishness that they are teaching me." No, because they have questions.
Hmm.
And have you ever saw where you had a question for somebody that's like, well, okay, I get that part, but why you do it like that? And it just don't feel good for that. Goes back to what we said about the truth hurting. Why does the truth have to hurt?
Yeah, I don't have to.
And so what I did answer that question yesterday, like, yeah, well, Nikki, why do the truth have to hurt? I said, no, the truth doesn't hurt. It's the conviction that God has placed down inside of your spirit to bring
Hmm.
some awareness. Because if I am telling you the truth and I'm guiding you through this and really giving it to you, not from a place where it's judgmental and it's going to belittle you and take your self esteem away, but yet you find yourself in a place of, you're like, man, that sure make a lot of sense. Ooh, I do need to be conscious mindset about that. That
Hmm.
right there alone puts you in a position where you're like, man, I really need to pay attention to really how I'm navigating through when it comes down to this particular situation.
Yeah.
And that way, you are sitting in your own ideals of reality that will put you in a place to where you know, okay, I don't believe that is somewhere where it's going to put me in a bad place, but it is something that's going to keep me in awareness of that place,
Hmm.
which means, here we go. I'm in this space, but I do have a place to where I can come out of it and I don't have to feel bad. But what she said and the truth of the information that's given to me, God has already connected it where I feel it because I've already came with the heart mindset of I'm open to understanding what's being said here. But
Hmm.
sometimes people don't even do it like that because just when we said the anklet, please tell me, show me in the Bible where the anklet made me the hoe.
And even if it is in the Bible, what culture was it? What time was it? I mean, you can't, you gotta look and know the time frame. You gotta look, like, all of that matters
Yeah,
when you're studying something.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, it was the whole anklet thing. I could tell you all of the stuff that
Oh, it's a lot of stuff. It's a whole
obviously
lot of no's
that we couldn't do.
and holiness. It's so many no's, and you can't wear this. You better put on stockings. And that's why we was hot all the time. Put them
Mhm.
stockings on. You can't have naked legs. You
I
can't wear
feel
no
like
big old shoes.
it
Don't
was
wear
so
no.
much on the outer, and it wasn't a lot on the inner. And
Yeah,
that's how you do come up with the church. I don't want to say the church hoes. I don't, the promiscuous ladies in the church. Because guess what? You can dress it up on the outside and make it look good, but you still got teenage hormones running inside you. You still are attracted to a man or a woman. That ain't new. We act like homosexuality is so new. It ain't new. It should been around forever.
yeah,
Um, I mean, you still have these things because you just dressed up the outside.
right,
You made a beautiful lie. And it looks good to the appearance, and on the inside, you jacked up.
right. That's true.
And so you married what's pretty and what you thought what was, and then you get that thing home and you live with that thing for a while, and you be like, well, I
Yeah,
didn't know she was like that. Yeah, because you saw that she had a good shout in church and she knew how to lift her hands up on the right beat and speaking them good old tongues. You ain't
and a
know
lot
she,
of times too is that
you ain't know.
in the church setting itself, that's mainly because you are looking to. There's a fulfillment there, especially if you're from what I've seen, experienced, and saw is that when a guy becomes a deacon, the deacon gotta have a woman.
Yeah.
He gotta have a wife.
Yeah, they
And
like that.
so the deacon, after he become a deacon, then they gave him this false narrative that he's a preacher because they see it all inside of him that he's a preacher. So now he's a preacher. Preacher man got to find him a wife because he's gonna be a pastor, and the pastor can't be without a wife.
That's
So
right.
now we gon' this is all the beautiful lie that now we got pastor man gonna need him a wife. So now he got to go find him a wife, and so he's now finding the one that look the part.
Oh,
She
absolutely.
looks super holy. She look like she's so super holy and connected to the cross. Like she walks on the cloud next to Jesus, and that's her. And so he's grabbed this woman, and she's looking this part. She is underneath the um submission. She gonna be submissive. She gonna do all the things because she has been taught and groomed in the church to be all these things. She ready to wear the big fruit basket hats and the big flowers. Like it is one lady that I watch and I be like, Lord, I would love to have a good conversation with her and say, "Are you okay, sweetie? Are you really okay? Let's have a real conversation because she is so into her first lady role and I don't get nothing authentic from it. I'm like, "Po baby, you like the positioning. You want to wear your big hat. You want to wear your big flower on your shirt. That suit that's hot. That polyester them. You want to wear all that with them beads and rhinestones, and you be cute, but you a cute looking mess. And that's all I'm saying about that. But call
Yeah.
me girl when you want to talk. But it's like you've been groomed for all these things, but nobody ever groomed you to be this man's wife. The preacher wife is a real good story to watch. Whitney and Courtney Vaughn did a great job
Mm-hmm.
in identifying what the problem was. Penny Marshall did a great job in directing that. If you watch The Preacher's Wife and Denzel, he did come along and do his best to he captivated the moment as the angel, but really honestly
Yeah.
that opened up some things for you to understand that that woman was so lonely and so heartbroken in just being the preacher's wife.
Yeah, it's a lot to go with that role. I hear.
It is. And you know what, Kristi? It's a
I hear.
lot to go with it. But here's the thing that I would say. If you stop trying to be the preacher's wife and be that man's wife
Mhm.
and add on, oh, okay, this is, and then this is, I just so happen to be a
Yeah.
preacher's wife. But if you're sitting up there saying, I'm going to be the preacher's wife, no, you the man's wife. God put you together to be this man's wife, not the church wife. Because you
For
are
sure.
the preacher, the man himself. Move his title out the way. You are his wife.
Mhm.
And then you just happen to take on the role of caring for the pastor, the preacher,
Yeah.
in the place of that. But I love when one of my old first ladies used to always say, no, she'll say her husband's name. No, I'm his wife. I just so happen to be a lady that is identified as the pastor's wife. But no,
Okay.
baby, I'm his wife. So she makes it clear and understandable that no, sweetie, don't get it twisted. I am the wife here.
Mhm.
I'm the wife over here. This is who I am. I'm gonna take care of him. I'm gonna serve his needs. I'm gonna do what needs to be done with this. And then I just so happen to do some things over here as far as the church is concerned. And so I love the factors of how she would navigate and help and tell a lot of ladies, and she's an amazing, amazing wife to the pastor. And she would always say it. She's like, no, I'm the wife to the pastor.
Mhm.
See, my narrative has changed. My wording has changed. I was like, I like that. I like that because you also got to tell people how to identify you, Kristi,
Yeah.
instead of letting people put their own identification on you. And so, as she navigated through that, she was not your typical first lady. She was
Yeah.
sitting in the back of the church, and every Sunday the pastor would have to say, "Where's my wife? Somebody find my wife." And she'd be ducking in the back on the road, and I'd be like, "Your husband looking for you." She's like, "Oh, I don't want to sit up there." Then he'd say, "Wife, come sit by me, please." And so she'll sit up there, and then she'll roll her eyes all the way up the aisle. And
I
so,
don't want to do it.
yeah, and then she'll tell him, she'll say, "I need." I hope this help you. She say, "I need for one day after church week that I can go sit wherever I want to sit in church." They having fun back there in the back of the church, and we used to be sitting in the back, and so we be laughing. They have fun in the back of the church. So the pastor gonna tell us, "I'm gonna make all y'all sit up here." I said, "No, no,
There we go.
you ain't gonna make all of us sit up here. We all ain't did it."
He
So
said,
on Wednesday night, he would say, "Okay, you can sit in the back." And she'd be so excited. She's like, "Y'all coming Wednesday, so sit in the back with y'all." And I'm like, "Girl, you better go sit in the front with your man." And since I know, I want to sit back here with y'all. But I say that to say this, Kristi. Her husband was willing to make an adjustment.
mhm.
So her peace and her joy and who she is, so she can love what she's doing.
Absolutely.
Whereas these people over here are making this same decision and saying, "Well, now you the wife, you got to be up here, you got to be right here, and I need you to be in this fruit basket, and I need you to have on this suit, and I need you to walk like this and talk like this," and all the time.
It's a lot of them that want to do that though.
Oh, baby,
It's a lot of women that's groomed
yeah,
to be the first lady because of whatever it's supposed to mean. Look, whatever that's supposed to mean.
that's the church groupie celebrate. That's the
And I'm
church.
like,
That's like that. What do they call it? When they get them little queens and stuff, them
and
little
listen,
debutantes.
ain't nothing against it. That's what you
Yeah,
won't do. That's what you won't do.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's something that be like, ooh, let me go run and hide. And there's other ones that child they see they seek out them men's
Yeah,
of the cloth
yeah, they do. Yeah,
to have that title and to have that role. And I'm like, I mean, okay,
yeah.
you
Good morning,
know.
Shay. Yeah,
I was not a pastor's wife, but I was a worship leader's wife,
yeah,
and that role right there.
Oh, girl.
was
And see, his voice, he could sing, so that was a whole nother.
ooh, child, and it wasn't like it was just so but I was the one to be like, do I have to come and sit in the front with you?
Yeah.
Like I didn't care about sitting in the front.
Did you have to ever sing in be a
I got tired of asking, well, can your wife sing? No, I don't even care about the song. I don't like that was one of the things that I was like beyond a shot. He could tell you she is not with me for my voice because I was like, okay, you sing. I'm attracted to football players. Like nothing against the song, nothing against singers, but like that didn't like, oh my
right?
God, y'all, I'm with the worship. That wasn't my thing. I was like, you got to be to all of them services and you got to stay to all of them.
And are you asking me to go to all of them with
And I
you?
need to come. You got three You want me to come to all three services? They just so and it was I respected the gift. I still respect the gift, but like he would tell you in a minute, she probably sitting somewhere in the back. She probably volunteered in children's church somewhere. And I'm over there into children's church.
Right. Let me go here with these kids because
Can I go to the children's church?
first
But
of all, they over there, they need somebody, and I ain't gotta be bothered with what y'all in here lying about.
child, listen. So I mean, but everybody has their thing. I wasn't I don't know. I didn't care. I didn't care to be in the spotlight. I don't care to be in the spotlight like now, like it's new for me to come out. It was the same way, then. Um, and unfortunately, because I was like that in the church world, they would take my meekness for weakness.
Right.
And so they kind of felt like, oh, she doesn't have a voice because I wasn't outspoken and trying to do this and this or hang in the inner circles. Then they assumed that I couldn't. And I
Right.
was like, no,
Because
sweetie.
that's usually some of the
No,
things
I
they want to
can.
do. They're
Look, I
trying to,
can.
yeah,
I can pray
exactly.
too. I can pray too. I can do this and that. If you want, I can shout on cue as well. I can play the game. I've been taught the game is shit.
Yeah, pick them up and put them down. You can pick them up and put them down.
I can do all of that. I can do all of that you want me to do. But to prove that for what? Like for what? For who? But everybody got their thing. Everybody got their thing. I wasn't the one to be played with. I was the one when you talk about identity, whenever you were saying that about the other first lady,
Mm-hmm.
what came to mind for me, and I know I said it before on other shows, but um people would just say, oh, you're Blaine's wife. Oh, hey, Blaine's wife. And I would say, my name is
Yeah.
Kristi.
Yeah.
I would correct them. I am Blaine's wife, but if you can remember Blaine's wife, you can remember Kristi. Kristi's
Yeah.
shorter.
Yeah.
And some preachers would get offended.
Yeah.
Like how dare you? That's not my name.
Yeah. The spotlight
That's
is
who
on.
I'm married to, but my mother did not name me Blaine's wife. So
Yeah.
he would introduce me, hey, this is my wife, this is Kristi. Oh, hey, Blaine's wife, I'm Kristi. I mean, I am his wife, but my name is
My
Kristi. You
name
can
is
address me
Kristi.
as Kristi. You don't have to just walk around saying I'm such and such wife. But a lot of women get off with saying you can just call me such and such wife. And that's fine if that's what you want. But I am his wife. I am Cameron and Aaron's mother. I'm also Kristi.
Yeah.
And then if something happened, God forbid, I don't put divorce, I don't wish divorce on anybody. But if something happened down the road and then you wondering why you lost yourself, well, you allowed everybody to call you such and such wife your whole
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
until that you ain't such and such wife no more. So I mean, but
And that's crazy because it's like when you have just what you said, when you have lived in that one title, what I giggle and laugh at is because when I go to the women's conferences and you have all the big powerhouses and all these people,
absolutely.
and then when you have been kind and nice to certain particular women, um, and then you're no longer friends with maybe one of their friends, then they want to take you back to Sister Nikki. I be giggling and laughing hard, so I'm like, good, keep me there, cause
Yeah.
honey, I know who I am, and you know as well as I know, baby. I know I can powerhouse you and take this whole entire room out. Let's not do it, but here we go. Sister Nikki is fine. Matter of fact, Miss Nikki is even better. You ain't even
Yeah.
got to put the little church isms on it. Let's go
Yeah.
for what we know. Nikki is good too. I'm
Yeah.
not tripping on that. I'm not standing up here and I am titled, entitled. I'm not titled, entitled, because I didn't come from that. I
Yeah.
didn't come from that because here it is. When I walk into the world, they already identified who I am. You a minister, you a pastor, you a preacher, you know God. They identified. I ain't got to show up and tell them nothing. I ain't got to open up my mouth and even get to say my name. They've already identified who I am. My gift has already opened up the doors for me to walk through. So when
Yeah.
you are sitting in your position and you're like, oh, well, call me apostle such as, first of all, who done made you the apostle? Because y'all be apostling and bishoping and becoming these people so quick. Who made you these people? And then when you don't have that inside of you no more, which that means your title has left. I saw a lady, her and her husband they was a big powwow pastors, and now that they have did the ultimate split, he went on his way, she went on her way. Now her whole dynamics of who she was, now she wants to be known by her name. And all that's great. Be your name. I definitely believe you need to be your name. But sweetie, can I tell you something? When you was running around here, now you want everybody to give you grace and mercy. But when you was running around here being ugly to people, now you got to come on back and try to rebuild and revamp and revisit who you are, because it's like a drug. It was a high and a high and a high and a high, and now you trying to get back into it and say, oh no, look at me as a good person. I'm no longer that drug addict. Okay, but what did you do as you climb that mountaintop? That's why you got to be mindful of how you treat people on the way down, how you treat them on your way up, how you gonna handle them when you come back down. And you cannot sit there and make that as a decision process of this is just I'm sorry, I was so rude today. Yeah, be apologetic, but understand that everybody's not in a forgiving place to that magnitude to where you just to sit there and hurt some people. And when you've hurt some people, you made some choices in how you decided you wanted to say something to them. That's another thing too, that you can't be sitting around here manipulating people and moving people on and then say, God said for me to do this, God said for me to do that. No, some stuff, just be honest. Just tell that portion of the truth. And that is, I'm no longer, like you said, I'm no longer married to my worship leader husband. But I'm still Kristi.
Oh, I've always been Kristi.
And because you came in the door as Kristi. And let me help some woman out there right now. You are gonna have to press through that process, especially whenever you are dating someone with it. This church celebrity life is no different than the regular celebrity life, entertainment, sports, or whatever. But when you come to the table and your name has no, as they say, it has no weight to the table, and they're still trying to figure out why did they choose you, just stand in what it is of what they chose you for. Because the person who chose you, even though they are in that light, there is something in your light that drew them to you. And they need that sense of foundation and stability to be able to maintain. You are somebody's truth. You really are their truth. You really do bring them to a place where that has that deep down integrity and character and what they have inside of them to stay grounded and rooted. You really do represent that. And when you flip out and flip over into what it is that's happening there, you have taken authentic truths out of it. And that's how a lot of times we get to those beautiful lies, Kristi, because and then here we go with motives. What was your motive from the start? What was your motive from beginning? Were you really just trying to impress me to get over here? Oh, let me impress Kristi because I really want to get close to Kristi because Kristi know such and such, so she gonna help me elevate over there. So let me just sit up here and pretend. Yeah, Kristi, girl, we friends. Come on, girl, twirl out. Let's go. No, because Kristi understands the truth. And let me tell you this here. Kristi see the truth. And that's why a lot of times the fights, Kristi, they are there and we both have these problems because I see your truths, but I'm still trying to pull from my own truth. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, okay, I'm trying to throw you off, Kristi. I'm gonna throw you off because I don't want you to know that I see you from that place. And that's what a lot of times we deal with is because we have people who are dealing with that truth, but then we also have some people who don't take into consideration the real truths of this is what has happened, this is how this is happening, and this is exactly what we're expecting in the midst of this whole process. So, what I'm saying to you guys is this here. Your beautiful lies that you're telling, it does not move nobody but you.
Yeah.
Nobody but you. Because everybody else is on to you. Everybody else has already grabbed concept. Kristi has made a choice and a decision that this is how she's gonna talk. This is how she gonna behave. This is what she gonna say. This is what she gonna do. And this is what it is. And that's Kristi. But Kristi thinking that she's telling us, oh no, I'm a good person. Oh no, I'm a man. You can count on me. Put me down. Count on me through thick and thin. Sing a song
Sure.
with me. And it's like everybody else is like, mm-mm. I called her. She ain't answer the phone. She ain't did nothing. She ain't even returned the call. Girl, she ain't finna do that. Oh no, I got your back. I'm there for you. Look at me. I am here. And they were like, girl, that's Kristi. That's an ism of Kristi. But real reality is what? We already see you failed it. But the beautiful lie is always your lie. Because and then here it is. This is where the truth comes in. And the hurting part of it is now I gotta tell you, Kristi, you know you're not reliable, right?
Child,
But I love you though. What?
I don't even bother to tell. Folks know their issue.
That part. That part, Chris. That part. That's the part. That's the part. They know the issue. And when they know the issue, what do they do in it?
Like some people self correct. Other people,
They
I can't.
see it.
And I don't be controlling your issue. Cause some people know. Some people can say, yeah, that's my issue. Other people ain't got that yet.
Yeah. How do we get them there?
I'm not trying to get you there. I'll be honest with you because I don't I no longer make everybody's issue my issue. I am of the fact, and you will hear me say, and I says other people, we always like to say, well, maybe they just don't know. We don't give people enough credit. People know who they are. They've been living with themselves their whole life.
Right.
People know they trifling. People
Right.
know. So I just act accordingly.
Yeah.
If I constantly invite you to something and you don't show up, I'm gonna just stop inviting you.
Yeah.
And when you ask, oh girl, you didn't invite me, and I'm gonna say, well, you never show up.
Give them the truth.
Like, where's our? And it's not in a crazy tone. It's not in a. I don't have to grab no air. It's just simple. Well, I've invited you on this date, this day, this day, this day, and this date.
You don't
And
show
did
up.
you come?
Nope.
Well, no, because I'm not gonna keep inviting you.
That's
Because some people just want to be invited. Basically, what I'm saying is my actions will show I'm no longer gonna feed into your BS.
that's good.
I'm no longer gonna positively reinforce that negative behavior.
Yeah. I
I'm
like
no longer I'm no longer gonna do that. And so I don't have to make a big rah rah. I don't have to give you a whole spiel in a speech
yeah.
because you know who you are. You've been living with yourself, just like me. I know my issues. I've been living with me for 45 years and 7 months. I've been living with me that long, so I know my shit. And
Yeah.
guess what? As you matriculate through life, through professional relationships, platonic relationships, romantic relationships, when you start hearing the same thing about yourself,
That's
it
true.
it, it can't be everybody else because you're the only common denominator.
Yeah.
So we as people make the decision, well, either I'm gonna change myself or you gonna say, well, this is just who I am. And the choice is yours. But yeah, I no longer, like I no longer do that. Like I may go to Vegas for my birthday, I may not. What's a lot of people that I would love to invite, but the reality is that I've invited you to travel 15 minutes across town in Houston, and you don't show up to my house to an event. Why in the f would I invite you to Vegas?
Yeah.
You don't come 15 minutes down the road. Reality is that you're not gonna book a flight and come. So why set myself up for that no and for that failure?
And you set yourself up for a reaction that you weren't even ready to give.
But here's the deal. But I have to tell myself, well, Kristi, that person's past actions have shown that's just not them. And guess what? I'm not mad at it because for whatever reasons you have, but I'm no longer gonna play into it.
Yeah.
Such and such gets invited, such and such never shows up. So I'm gonna stop inviting you. And if you want to ask, then I can say, well, I'm gonna spit you the facts. I'm not gonna give you my emotions. Because once I spit you the facts, it's hard to argue with facts. Well, I invited you on X
Yeah.
X
They
X
are
X
for the
X
fact.
X, and
Yeah.
you never showed up.
Yeah. They are
So
for the facts.
you can't argue with facts. So I take emotion out of it. Now, some people hate that about me. I've been told in several non-professional relationships, Kristi, you get so businessy in a relationship. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I could be like, it's the truth. It is the truth. I will spit facts, but sometimes we gotta, everything don't have to be like that. So that's something for me. I spit out a fact in a minute in a relationship, and then it's like, well, you keeping tabs. Well, I'm not keeping tabs, but you asked when else have I act like that? So you call it keeping tabs. I call it remembering. Pick and choose how we gonna do this. So
Do they want you to
it's
keep
just
tabs? I like
people
that.
people don't want you to keep tabs, but then and when you're talking with somebody, they'll say, well, when was the last time I did that? Oh, it's easy. You did it 3 weeks ago. Oh, now you keeping tabs on me? Well, how else am I gonna remember when you did something? If you so it's almost like,
So we could just stop doing that.
but I get where the other person come from. I don't want to come across like I'm literally writing it down on April, blah blah blah. You did such and such. I just so happen to remember. Because I make,
I ain't because I got good memory.
I'll make correlations to things. I don't think my memory is great, but I make silly correlations to things. Like I may say, well, I remember it was on this day because I was talking to such and such and blah blah blah. Like those little things would come back from me. Well, I remember it was this day because I was talking to Nikki and we was on the show and I held a blue shirt and it made me remember that you didn't buy that blue sweater that I asked you to buy me for. And I remember because that's what we was talking about and it was on this day. Like my mind will kind of work like that. So I really don't have to write stuff down like something like that's how my mind works. And so I put it together like that. And so, but hey, it's that's not a good trait for a relationship, right? Because it gives the impression that I'm keeping tabs. And that's not the first time I heard that. So I gotta change I
So
gotta
would you
change the way
consider?
I
I
am.
was going to say, would you consider that to be a working area?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It has to be a working area. It has to be just because you know the truth don't mean you got to deliver it every single time. Does maybe I've learned to watch when I give that truth. Maybe in the heat of an argument that ain't the same. That's not the time to do it. Even though they saying, when did I do it? You ain't in a spot to receive it. So maybe I need to say at that point, we don't have to talk about that right now. And
Right.
then I'll wait until
Ooh,
maybe cooler
is that a good one? Hey
until
Nick, what's going on,
till,
sister? She say
till cooler heads prevail.
she do
And
it.
then we can have that conversation.
They say
Yeah.
she do the same thing.
Yeah, I do that. Or I've learned sometime we pray about everything and we always think that God isn't concerned with our relationships and this and this and this and this and this. And I'll be like, okay, God, maybe maybe you reveal it to that person. Sometimes you need to ask God, maybe you reveal it, or maybe let it come to their attention, maybe something that they're doing on their job. And then maybe something on their job maybe that character flaw will be pointed out in another area, and then
Yeah.
maybe they can make the correlation. Sometimes it takes that. Sometimes it takes that, and I've learned to be good with that.
Yeah. Ned said that now that you do do it on
Yeah.
purpose, but it's like the person is arguing that they didn't do a
Yeah.
thing. Good
Yeah.
morning to you too.
Good morning.
They say, but don't ask me a question, not expecting my answer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You right. And that is my stance. That is my stance.
But
And I
Kristen, let me ask you this
also,
here. Do you think people ask you questions without wanting your answer to it?
here's the deal.
That's a good thing there right there.
In the heat of an argument, I'm about to just learn you something. In the heat of an argument, we say a lot of stuff that we say a lot of stuff, and we do ask questions, but that don't mean that person is ready to handle that answer.
For me, guys,
Yeah, yeah, and so I'm like that too. But you asked me though, but they may ask that, but they may not be ready to hear the full answer. We talked yesterday about the truth pill. Everybody, you may think you're ready to hear that truth, but maybe you're not ready to hear the truth. Maybe you're not ready to hear you trifling as and you lay out the reasons, because maybe that person really think that they really don't have that many issues.
Yeah.
Sometimes as the communicator and knowing that person, you got to know how much to give and the timing.
Yeah.
Timing is so important.
Yeah.
You cannot get through somebody if everybody's heated up and in anger. And here's the deal: nobody likes to hear about their character flaw from a person that they care about.
Ooh.
And they feel like, is this gonna be a deal breaker, or is this affecting my relationship? Nobody likes to hear that. I don't. That person don't. Is so you gotta know. You gotta know when to delve it out and when to dish it out. You gotta know, am I gonna shovel this entire truth and force feed you this truth and you choke on it? Or am I gonna give you a couple of sips? Okay, this is too much. Let's go, let's convene for the night, and then let's come on back to this tomorrow. It's okay for that. But you gotta I didn't start off that way. I've grown to be this person after realizing this conversation got us nowhere.
Ooh.
And I wanted it to get us somewhere, and you wanted to get us somewhere, but I was so hell bent on giving you the truth. We always like, but I told you the truth, but it did no good.
Yeah.
You choked me with the truth.
Ooh.
And now I'm dead. And so now your truth is what? It's falling on deaf ears. Because now I can't hear nothing you saying. Because your delivery of the truth was nasty. And here's the deal. Everybody can't take the hardcore blunt truth. I like it blunt. I like just rip the band-aid off, just stick the knife in me. Yeah. Just do it. Let me give it all to me. Some people need that shit in doses. When you go get chemo, they don't give you all of the chemo treatment in one day, in a month. They gotta 6 month you with that thing. Yeah. Because some cancers is it will kill you. Yeah. It would kill you. But go ahead. What is she saying?
No, I like what you said. Oh, but Ned said, but I realized that we allowed people to do things for so long and nobody told them, but I'm here to help and let them know, because how will they work?
I got something for that.
On themselves.
I got something for that.
Said, make them accountable.
I got something for that.
I'm not an enabler.
I got something for all of that. I said all that too. And let me help you out. I used to say that too. Well, somebody got to tell them. How you know ain't nobody told them before? Why we always think that we the first person to bring truth to somebody. This is me talking to me. Yeah. So I used to say that too. And I'm like, well, what make you think you're the only person that done told that person? You probably ain't the only person that done told that person. That person might not want to be accountable. We can't make nobody be accountable for nothing. We don't have that. We don't have that much power.
Let me ask this.
And it's not enabling them. Okay. It's just, I don't think it's enabling them. It goes back to before. People ain't dumb to they BS. People have been told, you trifling, you got an effed up attitude. That person that can't keep no job, I guarantee you they've been terminated for the same shit over and over and over and over and over again. We can't make them accountable. Why we think we're the only person that done call that person to the carpet? That's just like the friend that's going out and you may see the friend with the tight, ugly dress, and they be like, nah, I know her friend saw her with that. Her friend probably did tell her. She probably ain't listened to her friend. She probably thought, I don't care what you say. I'm confident. You confident and you look ugly in that dress. I'm confident that that dress made in your size, but don't mean you have it on. So you go out, everybody in the world is saying she ain't got no good friends, and her friends been telling her that is not the dress for you, but she chose to still wear that dress, to still wear the dress. I
Yeah.
think it's the same way with people. And so, yes, people are accountable, and I love that people are so accountable, and that is the new thing right now. But you accountable, and it stops there. So I'm done with making people accountable, and you ain't changing your shit, because now we got a generation of, well, at least I'm owning what I'm doing. I don't give a f that you owning it. You're not changing your behavior, so you're owning it and you're sitting in it. So now you're just somebody who says, yes, I shitted on myself, and now I'm gonna admit that my shit stink, but I'm not ready to get out of the shit.
Yeah.
Miss me. I'm
I'm
so sick.
gonna walk around with it on me, and I ain't finna
And
get cleaned up yet.
and guess what? And it's okay, because guess what? I'm admitting, I'm holding myself accountable. I'm saying that I know that my poop stinks. Get
Mm,
it off you then.
yeah,
You see? And
it's the
I
work
love
part.
that we being
It's the
accountable,
work part.
but
It's the
ain't
work
nobody
part.
changing their
Nobody doing the work.
behavior, because we so now stuck on, well, at least they being accountable. But what's the other part of accountability?
It's go back
So
to work.
so so that's just kind of where I'm at. That's why I say the kind of all of that stuff.
But let me ask this here, Kristi: are you really being accountable?
Well, I
Because
look, you know what? I looked up the definition to accountability.
okay,
Actually, because I had that in my mind. I was like, I'm so sick of people saying, I'm being accountable, I'm admitting. And actually, I don't recall it like right off. And basically, accountability is owning your actions.
yeah,
So you are being accountable when you're owning. Yes, I sat here and pooped in my pants. Yes, it does stink, but that's really all accountability does.
okay. She said, "Well, I'm speaking on those that won't own their they are admitting." Okay,
And you have those. But how can we make them accountable? We
yeah,
can't make nobody accountable by constantly bringing it to them, especially if they don't even want to be accountable.
yeah.
I
Do you think
realize
it's a good thing to ask that question?
I realize that you got to know what you're dealing with after a while,
Okay,
and you can keep spitting truth. But if if they're stuck on not realizing, then you gotta kind of know, okay, this person ain't ready. Like for me, or maybe they're not ready to face that fact about themselves.
okay,
Let's go to the next thing. Everybody may not be ready to face the fact that I can't stay in a relationship because I'm so insecure.
mm.
I can't keep a man because I'm so insecure. And I know we always throw in relationships, or I can't get past a relationship past 2 or 3 years
Well, I mean,
because of my insecurity.
relationships is the deal breaker for a lot of things that we do. I mean, human to human touching is important, and the relationship and connection is important. If you cannot keep a relationship, like I can't keep a relationship because I can't cook.
I mean, let's just use a fun example. Oh Jesus, what is my doggone login, y'all?
Say, I guess for me, if we talk and you flat out lying, I'm not going to go along to get along. I will point out, oh yeah,
Yeah, you
definitely,
want to point it out? Yeah.
yeah. Then Tangela said the person
There
has
you go.
first admit that there is an issue or a problem, like that AAA. Okay, and you have a lot of people
Yes, Miss
who
Tangela.
would like to sit in there,
They do.
honey, I see. Yeah,
And guess what? And if that's what they like to do, that's what I'm saying. If that's what, once I realize, oh, you like being there, I'm not about to spend no more resources. I'm not about to keep saying this and that. Because, like Mr. You like being there.
yeah,
Or you don't want to do the work to get up and spray that off of you.
yeah.
It's one of the two. So I'm not the one, unless you're going to pay me to be your therapist, to tell you
So Netta, you saying
I'm
that?
not doing it.
So Netta, you saying that you don't want them to sit there and just be able to come right in and tell you this storyline of lies and be like, oh yeah, that's what it is. I mean, yeah, because nobody want to. Now, if you know the truth, I do believe. If you do know the truth, don't sit there and let somebody just fashionably tell you that storyline of lies. I believe you really should just tell them, hey, Kristi, say that lie for another day. We're not doing that.
And you can
That
tell
is
them
where
that.
I'm leaving them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, exactly.
people know.
Yeah, I'm not
People
gonna let
know.
you just sit up there and just now you ain't gonna play in my face as them youngsters say.
Guess
You ain't
what? I'm
gonna play
I'm
in my
not about to
face.
be in your face long enough for you to play in my face.
There you go.
I'm done even
Cut
I'm
them off.
probably not even coming to the table to even give you a chance to play in my face.
There we go. There we
I
go.
think that's just now this is just the Christians. This is just the difference between all three of us. I don't care about calling everybody out on their stuff. I used to be that girl. I don't care no more because I'm the only one worked up. And at the end of the day, that person knew they was lying. They knew they was full of shit.
Yep.
And if you want to think you got over on me, that's fine. Christy don't have to tell you, you know you ain't getting over on me. But that's just me. Some people just like to be like, I'm still gonna read you the riot act and go on. And that's that's just a personal
But
preference.
Kristi, that's how I am right now with the
Yeah, like that's
community.
you. I don't me personally. Oh, okay, you so right.
See, that's
Really?
why I am with the community. I
Mm.
call them to the carpet, but then I went on. Once I'm now, I find it as a joy that
Oh,
I'm calling you to the carpet on your live, but I've already fixed the problem. So I just kind of went on by my business and everything. But I am calling you to it because I need you to know, hey,
right. And
don't be
here's the deal.
writing your little memos and
But here's
telling
the deal.
people
They already
lies.
know. I'm like, but you already know.
Yeah.
So but that, like I said, that's just a Christy thing. I'd be like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
let's keep her moving.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
I like that. I like that. I like
Everybody
that
got their own way.
the concept. I like what we're talking about there because that is important. It really is. And I like what you guys are saying as a total whole, ladies, because we have to get to a place to where we can start having some real dialogue and take away these offense. These offense people become offended about anything that does not go in their fashion. That's what I like to say. If it ain't going in your fashion route, your way, it was what I mean when I say your fashion route, then you just gonna go ahead and let it be what it is. No. So Kristi,
I'm listening,
tomorrow,
y'all.
let's have some more dialogue tomorrow. And talk some more about some more things that we can really talk about. Because I like this. I like to talk about these beautiful lies that we telling ourselves. And I think a lot of times, Kristi, lies is insecurity. Yeah. So let's talk about insecurities that these beautiful lies are helping you pass along because just what you said about the friend who got that horrible outfit on.
Sometimes women just gonna wear what they want, and everybody done told them, I don't think that's the one for you. I don't think that's the one. Then everybody be like, she can't have no friends. All of her friends told her she looked like you shouldn't have that on. But she's so stuck on y'all just hating on me, and no, boo, that just ain't your fit. That just ain't for you. But you on this. So now your friends just looked at stupid.
Let's talk about fashion lies tomorrow because
now your friend looking stupid because the world think ain't nobody told you nothing. Yeah, I tried to tell. Now I tell you what, I'm gonna say this. And I'm gonna let you close out. I am the person to say, while I'll be like, oh, I don't give you that attention. Let us be out in public, and they be looking around. I'm gonna be like this. I told her not to put that on. I'm gonna be that friend. I'm gonna be that friend because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover myself. I'll be like, but I told her. And then I'm gonna go to you. I'm gonna say, see, I told you. Now I bought you another out. But I'm also the friend to be like, nah, I got you another outfit. Nah, I bought you one. Just can't change your mind. You want to go change? You want to change? You want to run home right quick? I'm also that friend. You want to run home right quick and change because you didn't believe me. I'm that friend. I'm gonna be that friend to be like, friend, you sure you want to wear that? I'm gonna be that one. I don't know about that outfit.
Do you want us to go into this restroom and come out like Superwoman?
Like what we gonna? I'm that because I just don't like my friends out not looking. I'm like, girl, because I'm that. I want you to be that friend to me. If my breath is tart, I need you to pull me aside and be like, sis, I need you to give me that mint. I need you to give me that mint. I need you to say, run it back. I mean, like, I'm that friend. Like, I want you to be that friend to me. And I don't take it. I'm not
take
offended.
this bag into the restroom and go handle it.
Look, and I'm not offended, like at all, because I'm like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't have me
running around here looking like a whole fool in these streets.
It's a lot of women that are so insecure that they want their friend to look like a fool so the attention could be on them. It's a lot of women like that out there.
Well, with these murders of cases that is coming up where friendships are involved. What about your friends? Let's talk about that. That's crazy because
and that ain't nothing new.
No, they didn't.
Women and men, both of them, been doing that to each other for
Yeah.
whatever the reason may be.
Of course. Yeah, they. I'm like what you said earlier about the young man that's in the background that don't have a lot to say, but he's the one. I'm always looking for the guy in the background. And let me free somebody here. Don't always think the guy on the passenger side ain't it. Don't let TLC tell you that lie. Because the scrub ain't always on the passenger side. The scrub is the driver too. It's called deflection. Listen, let's pray. God, we thank you for this is the day, Lord, that you have made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. God, thank you for this beautiful conversation, God, dialogue today. And God, I ask right now that someone was able to get some good nuggets and really truly be restored from this conversation and empowered, and that they really, truly, honestly were able to get the help that they need. God, I ask right now that you take us through our day, travel grace upon us, God, and take us safely, God, coming and going, God. And I just thank you in advance, God. I pray that you will continue to bless us and keep us and take us through. And we just believe, God, and we stand on your promises and take you at your word. And it is so. In your daughter's son Jesus' name, we pray and ask. Amen.
Amen.
Listen, it's not about what we say, it's about how we make you feel. And man, I hope we made you feel some type of way. Have a good day, Kristi. Bye-bye.
Right.